This is a story that I was told by a student who was here last week, a student from Korea. So maybe you know this story, Frederick. It's a story that I was told by a student called Don. Did you meet Don? Don was doing the general English course here. And I often ask students to tell stories. And sometimes if a story touches me, I like to tell the story. This is a story I learned from an N2 student. But I'm going to stop before the end. But before we start the question, I'm going to stop before the end so you can imagine the answer. You can imagine the ending, rather. I'll stop before the end of the story, and you can imagine how you think the story ends. But before I begin, here's a question for you. And it's connected to today's lesson. And the question is, would you like to live forever? Ask your partner, why or why not? Very quickly.
Why?
No, I don't want. It's so boring, I think. Because it's long time.
I'll get off,
I'll tell you after. Thank you. Thank you very much. Okay, so who would like to live forever? Nobody?
No.
Really?
Yeah.
Nobody?
Because you can't
Why not? Why not? Why not?
I don't want to see people dying, or friends, or
Okay.
family.
If you could live forever but other people couldn't, then you would lose them.
Yes.
Okay. Is that the same reason?
For me,
Another reason?
because I believe that there's something after life, so I just want to pass this place.
Okay, so you're looking for the next life.
Yeah.
Okay. He's got the same reason? Okay. Another reason why you don't want to live forever?
If I can live forever just for me, I don't want to see my people's dead.
So that's the same as Nuri.
Yeah.
Any different ideas?
I don't want to live forever because after 100 years old, everybody after 100 can't walk like a young. I don't want to live forever. I want to be young forever.
You want to be, if you could be young forever, you would do that.
20 years old.
That's interesting, because now I'm going to tell you the story.
Very young.
There were an old man and an old woman, very old, Mr. Park and Mrs. Park. They were poor. They had grown old together, but they loved each other. One day, old man Park, he went to cut some firewood at the edge of the forest. And there, as he cut the wood, he found a small bird. He picked up the bird and he took the bird home. Together, old Mrs. Park and old Mr. Park cared for the bird. It had a broken wing. But after some time, feeding and watering the bird became healthy. Old man Park, he took the bird to the edge of the forest and he set it free. A few days later, old Mr. Park went to the edge of the forest to cut wood again. And there he saw the bird. But the bird flew away from him between the trees and landed on a branch. And old man Park, he followed the bird, stumbling through the trees. Then the bird flew again further into the forest. And old man Park, he stumbled after the bird. The bird led him deeper and deeper and deeper into the forest. Finally, they came to a clearing. And there was a spring of water. And above the spring, there was the bird. Old man Park was tired. He was old. He was thirsty. He got down and he drank water from the spring. Oh, it was so refreshing. He felt strong. And he drank some more. He felt so full of energy, power. And he drank some more. And finally, he turned and left the bird and the spring, and he walked home. He felt young. When he got home, he went into his house. "Who are you?" said his wife. "I'm your husband. You have changed." And he looked down, and indeed, he realized he had become young. "I am your husband. Remember how I was when I was young and when we met?" "Yes, you are the same as when we met." "How?" And he told her everything about the spring of youth. And together the old man, who was now young, and his wife, who was still old, they went into the forest, and he led his wife between the trees until finally they came to the clearing, and there was the spring of water. "Wife, drink." And he gave her water from the spring, and she drank the water. Mr. Park saw his wife change. Her grey hair became black, her eyes became bright. She grew straight and tall. The creases and wrinkles dropped from her face. She was beautiful again. "Enough, wife. Come." And together, holding hands, they skipped back through the trees. They ran back to their house, full of energy and youth. They went into their house, but soon there was a knock at the door. They opened the door, and standing outside was Old Man Who. An old man who said, "Who are you?" "We are your neighbours, Mr. and Mrs. Park." "No!" Old Man Who was a selfish, greedy man. He lived alone. There was no love in his life. He had grown old and miserable. "You're not Mr. and Mrs. Park." But they assured him they were, and Mr. Park told him the whole story of the bird and the spring of youth. "I want that." And Old Man Who, he hobbled off towards the forest. The thing is, Mr. and Mrs. Park, they continued to live, but Old Man Who did not come back. Finally, they decided that they should go and find him. They went running, skipping through the trees, so happy, until they came to the clearing. And there in the clearing... Oh, just tell the person next to you. What happened next? And what happened at the end of the story? What do you think? Tell your partner.
Maybe a baby.
They found.
I think it is a mix of two stories.
In Korea. Sorry? Yeah. That's the end of the story. Tell me.
Mickey,
Sorry?
became baby.
really, you think Old Man Who became a baby?
Yeah.
And what happened when they found the baby?
They pick him up and go to home and grow. Yeah.
Brought him up.
Yep.
Who agrees with Mickey? Who had the same ending? Yes? Who had a different ending?
Maybe there was many people there.
There were many people.
What I can think.
And were these people young or old?
All want to become a
And many old people wanting to become young. And did they succeed?
I don't know. I can't think about the next steps.
What do you imagine? Did these old people drink the water and become young? Everybody could become young. Different endings? Would you like me to tell you?
Yes.
Maybe you guessed already. Old Man Park looked. Old Mrs. Park looked, but they were not old, they were young. And they saw there in the clearing, next to the spring of youth. Little baby. An old man Park, who was now young, picked up the baby. Oh, who? And he gave the baby to his wife. Husband, this is the child we never had. Let us look after her. And so they lived happily.
With this greedy.
I wonder what happened when he grows older. Will he remember? Will he change? Can you hold your hand like this, please? I give you a bottle. Okay, you're holding a bottle now. In this bottle, there's a top on the bottle. It's a sealed bottle. In this bottle is water from the spring of youth. What will you do with this bottle of water?
Keep it.
Ask the person next to you, what will you do with your bottle?
I'll keep it. Yeah.
I sell it.
Good.
I agree with you. I want to live forever.
Although
To become.
Yeah.
I don't agree with this. Staying young forever. Even if I can be young,
Okay.
I cannot come back to the old time.
3 different ideas. What will you do with your bottle of water?
I will bring back to my country with my parents, and we share each other and with my best friend or
Share it with your family and your friends. Who else had the same idea? Yeah?
I would.
Stay young together with your friends and family.
Yes.
Maybe there's not enough for everybody. Maybe there's not enough. Different idea?
For my parents.
Mona?
If I drink it to be a child, I will do it directly. But if it's to be adult, no, I will throw it.
So you would drink it if you could become a child again?
Yeah.
Why?
I find the life is really difficult.
So you'd like to live,
As a
you'd like to,
child,
you'd like to be a
without
child
any
Problem.
and stay as a
problem,
child
yeah.
forever? Wow.
forever.
Would you stay as a child forever?
Yeah.
Why not? Definitely, definitely. Yeah.
maybe I just sip a bit, and then throw it away.
Just a little sip. Why just a little sip?
Because I don't want to be very young.
And why don't you keep it for later, when you get older? Just a little sip now and then throw it away. Interesting. Any different ideas? Have you heard that story before?
Yeah.
Is it a popular story in Korea?
Not popular, but it'll be introduced in elementary school or kindergarten. Yeah.
But I think it's not just a story for children. I think it's a story that you will remember.
the main point of this story is not be greedy.
Don't be greedy,
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah.
Like Mr. Who.
Mhm.
Exactly, don't be greedy.
Yeah.
So yes, be careful with your bottle of water. And if you ask me later, I'll tell you where to go in the forest.